Today's ICD-10 quick coding tip covers what you need to know for accurately coding coronary artery bypass graft procedures using ICD-10-PCS. My name is Claire and I'm an inpatient coding auditor and educator. In my coding tips and tricks videos, you'll discover valuable insights to help sharpen your medical coding skills and code with confidence. If that sounds like something that would be helpful to you, please consider hitting that subscribe button so that you can be notified whenever I release new content. Coronary artery bypass surgery restores blood flow to the heart by creating a new pathway around a blocked coronary artery. This is typically achieved by taking a healthy blood vessel from another part of the body, often the chest or the leg, and attaching this to a coronary artery in order to bypass a blocked section. This new path allows blood to flow freely to the heart muscle again. Because the graft creates a new route for blood to flow around the blocked part of the coronary artery, in ICD-10-PCS, this procedure is classified under the route operation bypass, which is defined as altering the route of passage of the contents of a tubular body part. When you're coding for a coronary artery bypass grafting procedure, there are three main things that you'll need to identify. You will need to identify where the new blood is coming from, which will determine the qualifier, what type of graft is used to carry the blood, which will identify the device character, and how many coronary arteries are receiving the rerouted blood, which will determine the body part character. Understanding the types of grafts used in coronary artery bypass procedures is important for accurately selecting the device character because the graft type directly determines which device character should be assigned. Different types of grafts can be used, but the most common are healthy veins or arteries taken from the patient's own body. These are called autologous grafts. When the graft is completely removed from its original location, meaning cut at both ends, it's called a free graft. The saphenous vein taken from the leg is the most commonly used free graft. Other options include the radial artery from the arm and in some cases the internal mammary arteries. In addition to free grafts, the left or right internal mammary artery can be used as a pedicled graft. This means the artery stays attached at one end to its original blood supply and is connected at the other end to a coronary artery beyond the blockage. When a pedicled internal mammary artery is used, it is not considered to be a separate graft in ICD-10-PCS coding because it remains connected to its native blood supply. The qualifier "no device is used." Less commonly, grafts may come from other sources such as cadaver tissue, animal tissue, or synthetic materials. It's important to note that if a free graft is harvested from another body part, a separate procedure code is required for the harvesting. However, no additional code is needed for pedicled internal mammary arteries as they're accessed through the same incision. The most common type of coronary artery bypass is the aortocoronary bypass. In this procedure, a graft is used to connect the aorta to a coronary artery past an area of blockage. This creates a new path for blood to flow around the blocked area. Since the aorta is the new source of blood, the qualifier in the ICD-10-PCS code will be aorta. The second most common type of coronary artery bypass is the mammary artery to coronary artery bypass. With this technique, either the left or the right internal mammary artery is detached at one end and connected directly to a coronary artery beyond the blockage. The other end remains attached to its original location, allowing blood to flow directly from the mammary artery without the need for a separate graft. In this case, the qualifier in the code will be either internal mammary artery left or internal mammary artery right, depending on which artery is used as the new source of the blood flow. While less common, other vessels such as another coronary artery, the thoracic artery, or even an abdominal artery may occasionally be used as the source of blood flow in a coronary artery bypass procedure. However, no matter which vessel is used, the key point to understand is that the qualifier in the code identifies the source of the new blood supply, meaning the vessel providing the new blood flow to the coronary arteries. The body part character identifies how many coronary arteries are bypassed using a specific graft and a specific source of the blood supply. If multiple arteries are bypassed using the same graft type and source, use one code that identifies the number of coronary arteries. If different grafts or different sources are used, assign separate codes. For example, if 2 arteries are bypassed from the aorta using a saphenous vein graft, code with body part coronary artery 2 arteries. Alternatively, if 2 arteries are bypassed from the aorta using saphenous vein grafts, plus 1 artery is bypassed using a pedicled left internal mammary artery, assign 2 separate codes, one with the body part coronary artery 2 arteries to capture the 2 bypasses performed with saphenous vein grafts from the aorta, and then another code with body part coronary artery 1 artery to capture the bypass performed using the pedicled lima. Let's take a look at an operative report. The title of the operative report is CABG, lima to distal LAD, aorta to obtuse marginal, diagonal and posterior descending arteries. This indicates that 4 coronary arteries were bypassed. 1 graft from the left internal mammary artery to the distal left anterior descending artery, 3 grafts from the aorta to the obtuse marginal, diagonal, and posterior descending arteries. Based on this information, we know that at least 2 PCS bypass codes will be required, one for the lima graft and one for the aorta grafts. However, we will need to read the entire operative report before making the final determination. Let's start by figuring out which PCS code we need for the bypass from the aorta. I've color-coded the key details to make it easier to spot the important information. The patient was brought to the operating room and placed in the supine position. After prepping and draping, they performed endoscopic harvesting of the left greater saphenous vein. Sternotomy was made and the pericardium was opened. They harvested the left internal mammary artery as a pedicled graft and prepared it for bypass. Full systemic heparinization was achieved and the patient was placed on cardiopulmonary bypass. After applying the aortic cross clamp, they administered cold blood cardioplegia, repeating it every 20 minutes through the cross clamp period. Saphenous vein grafts were anastomosed end to side to the posterior descending, obtuse marginal, and diagonal arteries using proline. In this case, the graft used to reroute the blood flow is a saphenous vein, which was harvested endoscopically from the patient's left leg. Because the graft is a venous graft that originated from the patient's own body, it is classified as autologous venous tissue. Next, we need to determine how many coronary arteries are being revascularized using this graft. According to the operative report, the saphenous vein graft was anastomosed to the posterior descending, obtuse marginal, and diagonal arteries. This indicates that 3 coronary arteries are now receiving blood flow via that saphenous vein graft. Finally, we need to identify the source of the new blood supply. The surgeon performed an aortotomy and connected the proximal end of the saphenous vein grafts to the aorta, establishing the aorta as the source of blood flow to the 3 coronary arteries. Our final code is bypass coronary artery 3 arteries from aorta with autologous venous tissue open approach. Now let's figure out what code we need for the lima to the distal LAD. Again, I've color-coded the details to make it easier to spot the important information. The patient was brought to the operating room and placed in the supine position. After standard prepping and draping, they performed endoscopic harvesting of the left greater saphenous vein. Midline sternotomy was made. The pericardium was opened. They harvested the left internal mammary artery as a pedicled graft and prepared it for bypass. Full systemic heparinization was achieved and the patient was placed on cardiopulmonary bypass. After applying the aortic cross clamp, they administered cold blood antegrade cardioplegia, repeating it every 20 minutes throughout the cross clamp period. Saphenous veins were anastomosed end to side to the posterior descending, obtuse marginal, and diagonal arteries using proline. Next, they anastomosed the lima to the distal LAD, which appeared to be a suitable target vessel. Flow was restored, and intraoperative analysis confirmed excellent graft flow. They created the aortotomy and anastomosed the proximal end of the vein grafts to the ascending aorta using proline, and flow was restored. In this case, the left internal mammary artery is used as a pedicled graft, meaning it remains attached to its original blood supply. Because it is not fully detached and reimplanted, it is not considered a separate device, and so the qualifier no device is used. Next, we determine how many coronary arteries are being revascularized using this graft. According to the operative report, the lima was anastomosed or surgically connected to the distal left anterior descending artery, indicating one coronary artery is now receiving blood flow through the pedicled lima. Finally, we identify the source of the new blood supply, and because the lima remains connected at one end to its natural blood flow, the lima is the source of the blood flow to the revascularized coronary artery. Our final code for the lima bypass is bypass coronary artery, one artery from left internal mammary, open approach. So that's it for today's quick tip. I really hope that this video was helpful for you. If it was, please give it a thumbs up, and if there's any topics that you would like me to cover in the future, just leave a comment below and I'll add them to my list. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy coding.